We released today a paper that explains the carried interest loophole and how it stays open in Washington, how we can close it in Rhode Island. It's online at hedgeclippers.org. If you can call this the hedge fund loophole, you can call it the private equity loophole. The basic deal is that these managers who invest other people's money take a tax rate that's supposed to be applied to long-term investments. It's their fee for making the investment. It's the service they provide. It's not their money. It's other people's money. But they have found a way to pay a lower tax rate on investment fees than any other class of investment manager. This paper, in addition to explaining the loophole and accounting for how it could raise $39.4 million for Rhode Island, also explains what's happening in Washington, where hedge fund and private equity managers have contributed to the campaigns, PACs, and super PACs of people like Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan to keep that loophole open. One of the amazing things about this project is that there are actually some patriotic millionaires that are on the side of tax fairness. Morris Pearl has led a group of investment managers, professionals, entrepreneurs, people that have made a lot of money, some of whom have benefited from this loophole, and say very clearly, it's outrageous and it's got to end. Morris Pearl from the Patriotic Millionaires.
Thank you, Michael. I'm glad to be here in Rhode Island. What we found is that people's federal income taxes are taxed in two ways. One is ordinary income. That's the kind of thing that probably all of you earn. You earn income, you pay taxes. For high income earners, 39.6%. The other kind of taxes is called long-term capital gains. You buy something, like your house, like some stock, you hold it for years, you sell it later. That's taxed at a lower rate to encourage that activity by our Congress. However, a small number of people, just a few thousand, have decided that when they talk to people about buying and selling things, they are really in a partnership with their clients, with the actual investors. And since they're in a partnership with their investors, they should pay taxes the same way the investors do. Kind of like if you were looking for a new job and you got a haircut and the person cutting your hair said, well, actually, we're kind of in a partnership with the new job, so we should pay taxes the same way. You think that's kind of weird. Normally you pay for your haircut, you take some money out of your wallet, and you assume that the person cutting your hair pays taxes the same way everyone else does. But these few thousand people, hedge fund managers, private equity managers, venture capital managers, all people who manage other people's money and lots of other people's money, they get paid a lot of fees for doing that. If they do a good job, we're all for it. We love people getting rich. Some of my best friends are rich millionaires and billionaires. We think earning carried interest is great. We think everyone should be rich. However, we think that these few people should pay taxes at the same rate that everyone else does who gets rich. It's just so grossly unfair that a couple people have come up with this complete legal fiction of being partners and therefore paying tax at a lower rate, below 20% instead of the 39.6% that other people pay. So we've gone to the states, my state of New York, Rhode Island, Connecticut, all of the other states in the area, and we've asked them to pass a state compact that they would have a 19% tax on just that income, just the amount of savings that people save on their federal income taxes due to this one loophole. It would only affect those very highly paid fund managers. It would affect all the different types of fund managers, private equity funds, venture capital funds, hedge funds. We're not singling out like one person someplace. And they would pay the same amount that they should be paying to the federal income taxes all along, but to the states. This may not be a big deal to the Congress. It's a few $1 billion here and there, probably pocket change for the U.S. Congress. But $40 million can make a difference to these guys who sit over there and over here figuring out how they're going to pay for people's schools and people's roads and the expenses of the millions of people here in Rhode Island. So we urge them to pass this compact bill, closing the carried interest loophole for the state of Rhode Island. Thank you.